Woodworkers usually think of the bandsaw as a rough cutting tool, but with proper blade and tuning, it can cut circles around any tool in the shop. If the early American craftsmen could have picked one power tool, they would have picked the bandsaw. In many ways, it's a motorized hand tool. It's quiet and safe. The bandsaw offers an intimacy with the work that other power tools lack. Hello, I'm Mark Duginske. I'm a fourth-generation woodworker, and I live in Wausau, Wisconsin. Although I have a lot of different machines in my shop, the bandsaw is my favorite because it's the most versatile. I use it to make boards from logs, resaw, and of course to cut turns. I also use it for traditional joints such as tenons and this dovetail. Good bandsaw technique requires two distinct skills. One is basic hand-eye coordination. The other is the practiced mechanical skill of adjusting the machine for each blade. Actually, it takes a lot more finesse to set up the saw correctly than it does to cut with it. In this tape, I'll show you both skills, as well as addressing some of the misinformation that's been in owner's manuals in books for the last number of years. I'll use 4 different machines, and I'll cut with 4 different sized blades. The key to using the bandsaw is choosing the right blade and tracking that blade correctly. With the half, quarter, eighth, and 16th inch blades, you'll be able to make any cut you can imagine. Before we start cutting, let's review the parts of the bandsaw. The bandsaw has only 2 major moving parts, the wheels and the blade. The wheels are suspended from a frame and are covered with guards. Think of the machine as a frame for holding the blade. The blade that you mount determines what you can do with the saw. If the bandsaw were a computer, the machine would be the hardware and the blade would be the software. The workpiece rests on the table. The table is held to the saw by a trunnion, a semicircle which allows the table to tilt. Guides below and above the table control the blade. The top guide assembly is connected to the bottom of the post, which is adjustable up and down for the thickness of the work. Normally, the top guide assembly is positioned about 1/4 of an inch above the work. A guard is usually connected to the top guide assembly. One last thing. For good performance, your bandsaw should be mounted directly to either a bench or a stand. I've got this bandsaw sitting on a mobile base so that I can move it around my shop when I need to.